Past 6 o'clock. Good evening.
Well, good evening.
How are you? How's your week been?
Good now that I'm
I hear you.
off.
I hear you. That's it's always a good thing to be off of the slave ship.
Of course. Been on that ship for a minute this week.
Right. Right. Gotta be able to get some chill time in. Get my energy up. My bad. I was trying to make sure the stuff was working. It worked seamlessly, and I was just shocked
This time.
this time.
You
I
know?
was like, it's just got to be something. It's got to be something that just doesn't work as well as I would like it to. But hey, we're here. It's Sunday.
It's time to get your soul filled.
It is time to get your soul filled. I like it. I'm gonna play some claps on that, but that was if I can get it. See, I knew something was gonna happen. Give you some claps on that. It's low, Hey, we got some claps though. Period. So today, this Sunday, we are doing the When You Know Part 2.
Yeah.
Yes. And When You Know Part 2, won't you fill us in on what this episode 3 is about?
Sure, sure. Well, what this is about pretty much is intimate relationships and why are you checking me?
I'm not checking me.
Okay, anyway. Intimate relationships and when you know when you're at certain stages in those relationships. And there are three stages of realization.
Mm-hmm.
The first stage is the when you know stage.
Right.
This is the stage when you come to know what it is that you want
Okay.
in an infinite partner. At this point, you stop looking for what you think you want
Mm-hmm.
and you start trying working on you so that you can attract what you need.
What you need. And
Right.
that's imperative. And not only what you need, but what you truly desire in this particular journey.
Right.
You know,
Right. It's also the point where you're no longer looking for those outward qualities.
right,
Now you're looking more for the inner exquisite person.
right.
That's
That
what you're looking for.
that exclusivity.
Yes.
Yes, I like it. So, and I love those 3 points that you put together for that because at the end of the day, like we all try to come up with our map and what is our particular frequency. And so to be able to have um, different bullet points or blueprints to kind of go by, I think that that's dope. Like we constantly hear the narrative of the soulmate, the twin flame, but I
Hmm.
want to introduce two new ones.
Okay.
Um, and those two new ones are the reflection
Hmm.
and the infinite. Excuse me, infinite. Let me make sure I said that clearly.
Thank you.
Um, yes. So like the reflection in the infinite and being able to um, actually decipher those two things and be able to know what particular situation you're in. Does that
Hmm.
make sense?
It makes sense.
Okay, cool. So with that being said, why don't you
Hmm.
jump off? Why don't you start? I always start. You get us popping.
Okay. Since I've been summoned. So we're gonna talk about each stage as we go along. And when you're in the when you know stage, at this point you're pretty much um at a point where you're like, you know what, I'm done. You've gotten tired.
Mm-hmm.
You're at your tired
Right.
stage.
Right.
Cause it's like I've been looking for this is what I want. This is what I want. She has to be this. He has to be that.
Mm-hmm.
She has to do this. He has to do that. So now that we're here, when you know, now you know that wasn't what I even wanted, needed. For I didn't need that.
Right.
So that's why it never worked out. That's why I'm here.
Right.
This is a point where it's time to reflect on you and what qualities in yourself that you want to gain
Mm-hmm.
so that you can attract that perfect, infinite partner
Facts.
to you.
Facts. And it's not just saying, um, does a person know my love language? It's like, are they taking the time to even look at you and learn you in the fullness of who you are? And so that type of person is going to be the type of person that first has that awareness of self,
Mm-hmm.
of them knowing what they have opportunities of growth in, and where their major strengths are. And I think that's highly important, rather than looking at the specific narrative of, as you said, the outward or the external. How does this person operate under pressure?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like other things that have to be looked at. And then not only that, stop looking.
Stop looking. Because when you're looking, you're going to find what you're going to find.
And then sometimes what you find ain't what you want. So,
Right.
when that's the narrative, how do you change that?
But it starts within. You have to go sort through the good, the bad, the ugly, and what you don't want. You have to purge from yourself before you can not want it in somebody else.
Right?
You have to be who you want to
Facts.
be with.
Facts.
um, if I'm a person, if I say, oh, well, I want a partner who will get up with me at 6 o'clock in the morning
Mm-hmm.
just because, but then I don't get up until 10 every day.
Right.
How, what?
So it's like, be the change that you want. And that's what we've said
Yes.
in the last two episodes. And then, so again, it's not chasing uh reflection, because I think that's the other option, or the other narrative that people miss, is they go chasing an opportunity, or chasing what they think they want, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I see someone else's relationship, or I see someone else what they have going on, and it's like, well, I want that. I
Right.
want that. That's the reflection,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if we're recognizing, um, when we are dating, or when we begin to join ourselves with a reflection, that's I think it's difficult to actually figure it out, because it's like they have all these qualities of these wants, right?
Mm-hmm.
And because they have all the qualities of these wants, it doesn't come across as just being reflective, or an illusion, in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
And so then once that spark is gone, and once that kinetic portion that like drew you to that has tampered off, well, now it's like, well, this isn't what I thought it was, but it was exactly what you wanted, right?
Right.
Right.
That's what you wanted.
Mm. Well,
That's deep.
that is it.
Yes, it is. It'll fly over a few heads.
So, what is your opinion of what a soulmate is?
A soulmate is, well, for me, I believe that you can have more than one soulmate.
Facts.
You can have a soulmate as far as a best friend. You can have
Mm-hmm.
a soulmate as far as an intimate partner. You can have a soulmate, just a kindred spirit
Mm-hmm.
where y'all just vibe. It's nothing more, nothing less.
Right.
But when I'm thinking of talking about speaking on, you know, something lifelong to the end of my days. I
Mm-hmm.
don't need a soulmate. I need a spirit mate. I need somebody who's
Mm.
gonna travel with me where I
Ooh,
gotta
wait
go.
a minute, wait a minute. You said a
Who?
what?
You didn't hear what I
You
said?
said a what, child?
I said a spirit's mate.
Mm.
I need someone who I can match my energy with, someone who I can match my spirit with.
Mm.
Because if, you know how people say something just didn't sit right in my spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, for me, that means if when my spirit is in chaos,
Mm-hmm.
your spirit can't come and calm me,
Right.
then you're not the spirit for me.
For me. Mm.
So I
Oh,
don't kind of, I've tapered off from soulmates.
I like that. I like that. I think that that definitely deserves some claps. If I had them pulled up, I would definitely give you some
Oh,
on
well,
that
let's
because
clap for
yeah, let's clap that one up, okay? Because let's give live claps because it's like
it.
a spirit. Nah, I want a soulmate. I dig that. Like that's hot. So I'm gonna agree. I think that we definitely have multiple soulmates, and I don't think that it's necessarily a form of intimacy.
Right.
When it comes to that, and I would say the same thing even when it comes to twin flames.
I'll let you break that one down
Now,
because
come
you're
on,
so
give me,
eloquent at it.
give it to me though, like for real, for real. What is your ideal? And then I'm gonna give my narrative because I always be spilling the beans. Like,
Hmm.
what is from your experience? Because in our journeys, we can only speak from experience, right?
Right.
We can't speak for everyone as a whole.
Hmm.
So, with that being said, you know, what is that twin flame energy? What is that representative in the psych world? Give it to us in that term, because
Okay.
that's where you master, right? So,
Okay.
in that regard, right?
Okay. So in the psych world, your twin flame is pretty much the same energy
Mm,
that you have. You're matching energy. However, it's a different type of energy. It's the type of energy that's actually that energy, the energy of a twin flame, it cannot be in close proximity with
mm.
each other.
Okay.
A twin flame, what it is, broken all the way down to its spiritual level, your twin flame is such the attraction that y'all will always not attract.
Mm.
Like you're when people are saying they're with their twin flame, what they're saying is this is a person I could not do infinity with.
Mm. Clap that shit up. Clap that shit up. Oh,
We're gonna clap
goodness
that.
gracious. Wow.
Because it's too much energy. That energy will never combine.
Mm. I felt that sizzle in my spirit. I definitely felt that. Yes. So, in my opinion, the twin flame, and I think it's the same sort of narrative.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I say that it is the always it's a chasing. Just like you said, it's like
Mm-hmm.
you're not gonna be with this person, but there'll always be a kindredness
Mm-hmm.
about them. You know what I mean?
The
The
familiarity.
familiarity of what they bring into your existence, or what they bring into your narrative. Pause. Have you shared this on your page as well as my page?
I have not.
I figured you
Let me
didn't.
do
Yeah,
that.
thank you. So, like most definitely, it comes to question if I'm seeing you intimately, um, and I'm stirring your soul,
Mm-hmm.
I can be a lover that's a soulmate, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to be with you until the end of times. And to be honest, I think that sometimes people get it twisted,
Mhm.
um that relationships are supposed to be forever, and they are, when you understand the dynamics of forever, right?
Right.
Whatever that foundation is built on, once that foundation crumbles, there is no more. So that forever has ended.
Mhm.
And I think we've gotten kind of filled in the position of, why haven't I found my soulmate yet? Why haven't I found that person? But it's like you've probably ran across multiple soulmates,
Yes.
multiple twin flames.
Yes.
And so, because of this, and because of having different relationships, and because I've experienced the soulmate, the twin flame, all of this different energy, I can truly say that I got to the point of, okay, I want that infinite fulfillment.
Okay,
I,
pause.
okay.
Explain infinite.
So for me, infinite is each being, each spirit coming together whole,
Mhm.
intact within themselves. And there is interconnectivity. Um, there is that knowing without knowing. There is that absolute and that nothing.
Mhm.
And so, in order to be infinite, um, there are no there are no physical ties to that relating or that relationship. Does that make sense? It's
Okay.
like jealousy doesn't exist.
Okay.
Um, Infidelities and all of these different things that we talk about in physical relationships, that doesn't exist because it just is, right?
Right.
And because there's balance, that person is not looking for someone to come in and complete them, but complementing their energy. That person is not looking to
Yes.
change who it is that I am or that other person is, but loving them through their growth and showing them their opportunities, but not becoming like a nuisance. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? So infinite, that's infinite. You know what I mean? It's so many different levels. Like, I wish I could just simplify it to just that, because it's a knowing. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's a deep stirring that is just like, I gotta jump
Right.
on this
Right.
immediately. Not now, but right now.
Right
You
now.
know? So I think that's what we actually see examples of in those relationships that we love to want, right?
Mhm.
It's like we all have that aunt and uncle, or maybe our parents, or um however, we all have that particular couple that's been together forever. You've never seen them argue. They don't argue. They don't go through, or you don't know what they,
Right. This is
but
what you
this
perceive
is what you
from what
perceive.
they show you.
Right. So, but at the end of the day, I think that you still have some that are honest and say, well, we have disagreements, but we don't argue.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Because there is a difference. It's a difference to disagree on something and then to flat out be like,
Rah rah
ah,
rah.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because that's reacting.
Mhm.
Spoonful of honey. And like, so when,
Shameless plug. Go
shameless plug. So when we,
ahead.
like, seriously, when we are reacting to a situation, we're not being within the wholeness of ourself, because we have then reverted to that flight or fight.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Since I can't deal in the situation, well, I'm either gonna flee or I'm gonna fight in it. And so it's a running narrative that I've heard constantly in relationships. If you don't fight for me, you
But
don't love me.
but why though? Why am I in a position to have to fight for you?
Mm, why?
You don't. Thing is, if a person has to fight for you, you're not theirs.
Mm,
It's real simple. I don't want you to fight for me. I'm
right,
already yours.
right.
Like that. That doesn't make sense to me.
Well, to some people it does, and I think we can speak to that from emotional imbalances of because maybe someone that they really cared about, um, they thought that they should have done more or that
Okay.
they should have been more of the champion for them or more of the type of person that came to battle. And because they've taken on this, I gotta hold me down. I'm
Mm-hmm.
independent. Don't
Mm.
nobody do nothing for me. I got me. You know what I'm saying? I'm a boss. I'm a what is it? What's the song? What's it? You know, oh like bossy, savage, classy, bougie, ratchet, all of that. You know what
All
I'm
that.
saying? It's like I have to be a savage. Why?
For what?
You know what I'm saying? I have to be this uh complete complexity, and it's nothing wrong with being a complexity, but when it's oxymoronic it just doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? So um in my opinion, I feel like people get their wires crossed of what somebody paternal or maternal was to provide and bringing that into an intimate relationship or setting,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because if I'm looking to my partner to provide that emotional healing from my childhood, and it's not to say that that person can't understand
Right.
what you've gone through, but it can't constantly be those triggers
The
to where it's
crutch.
like I have to constantly be like, oh, it's okay,
Right, right.
it's
That's
all
that
right, I
because
get
that's the
it.
crutch.
Mhm. Mhm.
That's the something that you're not letting go of because you know you can use it as a crutch because
Exactly.
you've done it for so long.
Exactly.
When you let go of the crutch, you think you're gonna fall. You might stumble, but you still know how to walk.
You still know how to walk. Period.
So let the crutch go. Deal with it and don't expect your partner, your husband, your wife, your don't expect none of this to be like, let me come save you, baby. No.
So that and I've spoke on that before. I think it was episode 1 of saying the hero,
The hero.
right? So that's another reflective energy that we get in intimate relationships. It's save me from myself, because that's really what you're asking a person to do, is to come in and be your be all that ends all. When you're on that infinite shit, it's like, this is my lane, this is my journey, I am focused on doing this. When someone comes into contact with me and I feel that spark, or I feel that soulmate energy, I
Mm-hmm.
feel that spirit mate energy, I feel that twin flame energy. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? I feel that friendship energy. I feel that bonding, because that's what the infinite symbol is, right?
It's
It's
everything.
everything. But it also crosses in between realms. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So I can't I choose not to align myself with someone that can't understand why I do the things that I do.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that. When I get something, for me, that's a really big deal
Mhm.
because I rest in my nerve energy.
Right.
So when I get something,
Mhm.
it's a real big deal for me. And if I come to you and I'm telling you, and you can clearly see the excitement in me,
Right.
and I'm telling you about something I just learned,
Mhm.
if you're not as enthusiastic because you know this makes me happy,
Right.
genuinely happy,
Genuinely.
that's the something that you put your all into. This is what makes this person happy.
Mhm.
This is where I'm gonna put my energy.
Right. And that's when it comes to, and I think it's like I definitely want you to start with the breakdown with this one. We kind of went briefly over it, but loving a person how they require themselves to be loved. Why is that important? Like,
Because if you this is the thing. People think I'm gonna love you how I want to be loved.
mhm.
How I want to be loved might not necessarily be how you want to be loved.
Right.
So that's very selfish of me to take the things that I want
Mhm.
and project them onto you and then wonder why those things are being rejected.
Mm.
Those things are being rejected because that's my stuff. You're not doing things that this person
Mm.
enjoys.
Mm.
You're being selfish.
Mm.
Now, when you can love a person the way that they require, that's a wholesome type love because you got to love yourself enough
Mhm.
to know that this person loves me the same.
Right.
This person loves me how I want to be loved.
Exactly.
So I'm going to love them how they want to be loved. It might not be the same. I might like hugs, you might not.
Mhm.
But if you know that I like hugs, you'll make that sacrifice to come in there and give me a hug every day.
Right.
And in return, because I know that you absolutely hate hugs, I'll do something that you enjoy because
Is
that's the
that, and I
balance.
hate to, I not hate, I love cutting you off.
Mhm.
Is that infinite? If you feel
It's
like
a
doing
piece of it.
something is a sacrifice.
No, 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 not sacrifice. It's just I speak in terms of what others may resonate.
Well, because it's like the whole purpose of Soul Field is
Oh,
to
here we go.
change that narrative
I
and to
know, but
feel that soul.
listen,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how you do it. You give them what they already know,
Mm-hmm.
then you break it
Okay, break it down for me,
down. Okay.
Queen.
So, in this sense, the word sacrifice literally means you're giving something
Mm.
pretty much up.
Mm.
But in the infinite energy, the word probably would be growth
Mm.
because you're willing to grow with this person.
Mm.
You're willing to figure out, well, I might not like hugs, but I like them enough to give them to her.
Mm.
So you're growing with this person as well as them growing with you because just as well as you're doing things, they
Mm.
see it.
Mm.
And then that sparks their growth.
Right.
It's not sacrificing, it's like putting a piece of you away to enjoy the wholeness of what y'all got, what y'all share. And it's not to say that that piece isn't accessible. It's
Mm.
just a piece where it's going to be like, well, at this moment, my infinite needs a hug.
Right. So, and I'm glad that you said that because it goes to say it doesn't mean that everything is, oh, you like sports? I like sports.
Right.
You like Nintendo? I like Nintendo. You like red? I like red. You like green? I like green.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But it's understanding a person's perception,
Mm-hmm.
it's understanding their uniqueness, and unconditionally loving that uniqueness so much that it's like, I want to see you become more of this.
Right.
I know that it's a difference from seeing the potential in a partner. And that's definitely something that I want to speak to, is that we constantly can see potential in a person, right? And they have the potential
That's the
to,
want.
I ain't gonna say nothing. That is the one.
Mm-hmm.
So the potential is seeing what that person may be capable of based off of your perception.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get to the point of seeing that person in action, and they might hit a roadblock, and it's to say, keep going because you got it in you to do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Rather than, I knew you wouldn't, you
Right.
wasn't going to be able to do nothing, no way.
Right.
But turning that potential energy, that person has to be willing to turn that potential energy into kinetic energy. And are you able to be the complementary spark? Mm.
Say that again.
I don't know what I said, girl. Can you be the complimentary spark? No, it is it's
Are
seeing the
you
potential
able?
energy, right?
Right.
And for that energy to be able to move kinetically as that other infinite partner, are you able to be that complementary spark?
Mm-hmm.
Claps on that one.
Yes.
Claps on that one. I felt that in my spirit. I felt
All
that
up
sizzle
through the
in my
spirit and
soul.
everything. So that's the all of that in a bubble
Mm,
is the when you know stage.
mm,
And once you've got all that sorted out, figured out, you've came out on the brighter side of I'm cool if I don't find that person. That's when you enter stage two.
mm,
When you know,
mm,
right?
mm. Break it down for me, Queen.
Now what this is maybe you've been, you know, dating someone or have went exclusive with someone,
Mm,
and let's say your exclusivity has been about 30 days.
mm-hmm,
When
mm,
you know that that person is like, wait a minute. Because there'll be something in your energy that's going to move you.
mm-hmm,
Like, this is the energy I need.
mm,
Your energy will be so attracted to that
mm,
person's energy
mm.
that there won't be a thought in your mind as to say, no, this is
It,
not what I want.
facts.
That it will never cross your mind. Like it'll always be in your mind. You might try to fight it a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but a smart ones, you ain't gonna fight it.
So is it
You'll know,
safe
and
to
you're gonna go.
say that you go through all the intimate relationship phases when it comes
Hmm.
to infinite interconnectivity?
Well, when it comes to infinite interconnectivity, you start out at the when you know stage
Mm,
because you're already in an energy where it's like I got specifics,
mm,
and these specifics are not like she got to have a fat ass, she got to da 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 da. You got specifics, and these specifics are the specifics that you can offer.
right,
I want a lady of intellect because I'm an intellectual.
right,
I want a lady who is corny because I'm corny.
right.
All the small, quirky things and the big things
Mm-hmm,
that you are
mm-hmm,
yourself,
mm-hmm,
you're going to gather all that up and you're not even gonna waste your time
Period.
with someone who is missing these qualities. It's not gonna happen
Mm.
because you don't have any time to waste at this stage.